is the best savings technology that's ever been invented. Full stop. It's money that doesn't devalue. It actually is deflationary instead of inflation.
What if I told you there's a technology that allows you to save money without it losing value over time? That's right. I'm talking about Bitcoin, the revolutionary digital asset that billionaire investor Mark Yusko calls the greatest savings technology ever created. In this must-watch video, we'll dive deep into Yusko's latest interview where he unveils a brilliant 3-bucket strategy for managing your wealth. He argues that a staggering 70 to 80% of your net worth should be in a savings bucket, and Bitcoin could be the perfect asset to park that wealth in. You'll learn why Yusko believes Bitcoin trumps traditional investments like stocks and bonds when it comes to preserving your hard-earned capital from the ravages of inflation. We'll also explore how major corporations are following Yusko's lead, reallocating cash reserves into Bitcoin to protect against currency devaluation, and you don't want to miss the mind-blowing predictions from top analysts who see Bitcoin's price skyrocketing to $150,000 by 2025 as institutional money pours in.
It's the best thing. Now, when do you spend your savings? Not never. Not never. You spend it when you have a big expense, right? You want to buy a house. You want to send your kids to college. You want to take a vacation. So this whale that bought it at, I think it was like 70 cents or so, no, 50 cents. And he held it all the way to 70,000 and sold 1,000. It was like, oh my God, it doesn't have diamond hands. Like, what are you talking about? At some point, you need to replenish. The way you have to think about it is 3 buckets, right? We all have a liquidity bucket, 10 to 15% of our wealth that we need to spend for our lifestyle. Then we have a get-rich bucket, right? 10 to 15%. That's for all the crazy ideas, the brother-in-law's condo deal, the hot stock tip you got from your friend. You're going to lose all that, so just keep it small. But that's fine. And then you have your savings bucket, and that's 70 to 80% of your wealth. And the boomer approach is 60-40, 70-30, diversified portfolio, stocks and bonds. Well, now this incredible asset, digital assets, has come along, and now you can diversify into those things. And you could even say, well, with Bitcoin, I could swap that whole portfolio into Bitcoin. Fine. You want to do that? That's fine. That could be your savings. But here's the thing. That 10 to 15% in your liquidity bucket, there's a hole in the bottom. It's going to drain. So you got to keep replenishing it. And as the Bitcoin keeps appreciating, remember, Bitcoin doesn't grow. It's the currency that's getting worse, or the demand is rising, right? Supply and demand. And I don't see why that's so hard. And I don't see why people look at it as a negative if you take some of your savings and spend it. That's how life. I've been tweeting about this week. So I have recently invested in one such corporation, a Japanese corporation called Metaplanet, and myself and Jason Fang and a number of others. So Simon Garovich has run this company for a number of years, and he realized that the issue is worse in Japan than it is in the US, because the Japanese yen has been on a one-way downward path since 2011. It went from 85 yen per dollar to 152.7 this morning. I mean, it's just brutal. And he finally said, you know what, we're going to take a page out of the Saylor playbook or MicroStrategy playbook. And when a play works, you should run it. And to your point, lots of corporations in the United States who are sitting on these mountains of cash, Buffett, for example. But Buffett's never going to do it, right? Because he calls it rat poison squared. I'm like, what does that even mean? And how do you even know what rat poison tastes like unless you're a rat? No, I'm just kidding around. So yes, other companies are going to do it. It'll be smaller, I think, at first. And there's probably some that have done it, but they don't really want to talk about it because if it doesn't work, and you can't have a short time horizon for this. You have to have a long time horizon, and you have to have the ability in the company to access capital markets to grow. And I think that means you have to have good reach and good relationships. So good management. So I think, not every company should probably jump right in if you don't have people who are well-versed in the segment.